Okay, here is roughly where I've placed the tape, so you get a good idea. Their rule is 6 feet away. Although I did have a flashlight through the walkthrough. Well, this is my initial look at the house, and then the walkthrough will be tomorrow. This room ended up looking pretty good. We did have one corner spot here. And we did not have the height we needed to in this bathroom, but obviously it's still dirty. And you know, I don't believe it was a cut-in issue. You were worried about it cutting in. This spot in the mirror had what looked like a scratch. So if they can't get that out, I just kind of pointed it out. I'll go ahead and give you kind of like a zoom in here. We didn't know what that was. And obviously this is dirty. So once that gets cleaned, it'll look really good. And I know that you were worried about that portion. I'll point that out tomorrow. And then we kind of just, this detail here, just see if I have any, everything else looked good in this bathroom, except for, of course, something there. And as we go through, I'll kind of try to show you where I put tape. A lot of the flooring needs just cleaned. So, give you the view here where I put tape. It seemed to be like a theme where corners joined and trim pieces were that we needed to have a bit of tape. Ted tells me tomorrow we'll learn whether or not a chlorinator will be an option. Mr. Gary did tell me that he does have somebody that does that install and that the cost is $650. Gary already showed me this. This is the tile with the light gray material, but somebody came in with white, and obviously that's not the right color, so we've already got that taken care of. Let's see. Give you a wide scope here, sort of where I've got everything kind of here. Everything was minimal. You do not get the refrigerator, however, they are going to be doing a piece of casing here, some shoe molding, I believe, right here for you. He didn't like the way that it looked, so that will be done. Just kind of pointing out that. Now in the pantry, just a few like little dents when they were probably installing the I saw something else I gotta point out. I'll go in first to the guest bathrooms. There were some items of concern right here, here, and I believe we needed to touch in right there. The laundry room, believe it or not, looked really good, except for some corner pieces. A little bit back here. Okay, try to go slow here. We did a little attention, so there's some cutting in and just some cleaning up. You can kind of see what we're talking about. This is sort of the kind of thing that we were looking at. It just needs to be sanded down and touched up. Now, again, a repeating theme here with the showers, and I'll make sure that they understand that's important to you. So just kind of give you reference. You see, we just kind of, these types of things, put some tape to clear it, and then kind of around there you'll see that kind of stood out to us. Some work here, a here. And then if you look, as I generally do, sit here, and we noticed that was a little rough. So we pointed these items out. And then it looks like, again, you have that same situation. Pointed that out there. All good on the rear here. Okay. The start in this bedroom here. It came out pretty good. No issues here in this one. There were a few issues in the other one that we really didn't like. Oh, 2 beach chairs. I think those are the cleaners chairs. So nothing really glaring. I'm seeing a piece in here now that I've got tape. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop this on. And this looks pretty good. This is just a general, trying to show you where we have tape at. I wanted to go ahead and put a little attention to that area. This here is that portion where they had to rerun the wiring, and they did that on 7 of their houses because they found out through the inspection that the equipment that they're using pulls too much initial amperage, and the wiring wasn't sufficient for it. We did have a little spot right there in the cardinal room, is what I recall. Well, what I'm calling it, not what I recall, derp. So this is the closet, obviously, you know. And I've got a few in the corners here. We saw this, and you know, it looks like just when somebody came through and did some of this finishing work that they, you know, they were a little rough, maybe had their tools and stuff. It's understandable. Okay. All right, let me go ahead and go into the master. So some trim, like right when you walk in here. I found some stuff here that I didn't care for. Just some, it looks just like paint that needs to be sanded down, or some, you know, not as flat as it needs to be. We have some issues with trim. But as we are in the master, and this is where you're gonna spend the most of your time, I'll try to be a little clear here on what we did. Some upper area. So for me, it was just some finishing items. Okay, it's important to go ahead and show you since I'm in the master. And we have that. The grass is rooting, but if it's not completely rooted and cured, they're gonna go ahead and go back and go through that. And I do have a separate video that I'm gonna go ahead and show you for and it looks like we'll probably need some attention back here as well, that I'm gonna show you for the landscaping. I believe that they'll have that nice and cleaned up. Okay, this is the little fun here. Thought we got some here. And really, this is just like this kind of thing. You know what I mean? I just feel like that should be cleaner. So I kind of pointed that out best that we could. This outlet, just like a little hole and some area there that they could address. And then I had an issue here, just some glue that was on the floor and right there, and then the trim piece. We ran all the water. I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I'm talking about here. That material, I believe a lot of that will come up when you clean, but you know, just kind of showing them like where to pay attention to on the details here. The stuff that will stick out to you when you're here. Okay. Somebody just needs to come in with some sanding and some painting and maybe some spackle. Probably try to show you back up here. So this is in your master bath. Goodness, it's loud. Okay. And then into the closet. Very minimal in here, which I was happy. Just some trim, just a bit of trim work and some attention. So this kind of thing like this is, there's some of that kind of throughout the house. You're supposed to be the 6 foot rule, but we kind of tried to highlight all of what looked really drastic. And this here was just like a paint issue that can be remedied quite quickly, so hopefully they won't hate me. It's my job. So, all right, got all that done. And I'm going to show you the garage, and I believe that's all we have left. And then I'll send you the separate video of the outside. Okay, so they did put the screws in this, and we found that it was really difficult to open. So what we did was leave it here. They're gonna go ahead and do some WD-40, but there are screws now, so that it was remedied. And the gentleman was happy that that was pointed out because he's known somebody that's had an accident from that before. So he just definitely agreed with that comment. This here is where they ran that wire again from the breaker, so they had to do that. Not quite sure. We have light bulbs. Hold on a second. Let me turn these lights on. Light bulbs now. That was a thing in the... I'll go ahead and kind of give you an idea. Like, it's the garage, so I'm not sure what if you want them to come in here and paint, but we did see something that was on the ceiling, so we did highlight that, and that was what we went and did. I think, yeah, and I did see this, which I thought was a little significant. That there, I wanted to pay attention to that. Okay, so everything else looks pretty good. There's a little bit around here that I think is just really truly dirt, which they should be able to clean up, but there's that, and there's your little ladder. Okay, so this is your flooring, the Shaw flooring, and tomorrow I'll make mention of a transition strip. They said they do not do them. We can put in a request that they be done, but I'm not certain that they would be done beforehand. And basically they told me what this threshold would look like. I'm not sure if anybody in the family is wheelchair bound or needs one, but it might not be helpful as they do present trip hazards sometimes. The material would look like this, and it would be like that faux wood that would kind of encase that. So they said that if they knew about that in advance, they would have done something about it. So perhaps we can put in the request. I'll do that tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to accommodate that because they don't do it typically, is what I was told. So I'll put that request in. But as you can see, I mean, all of the floors have that basic carpet transition. So, okay, I hope this was informative, and I'll try to get you a good video of what they're going to be doing and what we talked about outside. But of course, we always want to get everything written down the best we can. So I'll try to get that detailed tomorrow. All right, thank you for watching.